All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to your Saturday episode of Unscripted, live here on Facebook at Unscripted. We are also live on the All Sports, All Plays Network. Check them out over on Facebook and YouTube. Just a reminder, on February the 8th, which is on Tuesday, our next show, we go live on TV for the first time. We go live Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Saturdays at 8. I'm your producer tonight, Logan Landers, and joining me are my two co-hosts. First, we got Jay McLovin.
Hey, what's up, everybody? And again, we're at Black History Month, so lots of things that are going on right now. Harriet Tubman, do you know she was the first woman to ever be in the military? Isn't that crazy?
Hey, wow.
I did not know that I did not realize that she was recognized as part of the military. But yeah, she was the first woman to ever be in the military. So Harriet Tubman is that's my little factotum for the day.
Jay spitting out the facts as always, and of course Frankie C. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Haven't been here all week. Glad to be back. I can't wait for Tuesday. Big show. Big moment for us on Unscripted. Not only are we going live on TV, but we also got a special guest coming back. I'm pretty sure we'll say that at the end of the show.
Of course, we got to lead him into it, Frankie. We got to get him at the end of the show to hook him into our next show. That's what I was leading it to.
Exactly. Also watching the Winter Olympics, guys. Winter Olympics is underway. We got some snowboarding, figure skating, and skiing tonight.
All right, no doubt. We'll be sure to cover that on another episode. It is, of course, a very big topic, but there's so much going on in the world of sports. We got to cover it all. Be sure if you enjoy the video, like, comment, share, subscribe. If you got a comment, throw it in the comment section. We will throw it up on the screen, interact with our fans. We love it. But without further ado, gentlemen, let's get our first topic underway. And Doug Peterson is hired as the new Jacksonville Jaguars head coach. The last couple of days, we saw that Byron Leftwich took his name out of the running. And pretty soon thereafter, we saw a former Super Bowl champ, right, the champ of the Eagles back in the day, is now the new coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Says that Trevor Lawrence is pretty happy about it. So what did you guys think of the hire? Is this a good move for Jacksonville, or do you think they should have went with Leftwich or some other coach out there? Jay, I'll let you start things off.
Obviously, I think, Leftwich was a little bit more current and a little bit more polished as a guy who can develop people. He developed Tom Brady. He was developing and working on Jameis Winston before they traded him. He's had pretty good success with the Tampa Bay Bucks and what they're trying to do over there. So I think he's definitely qualified. I think he would have been a great addition. He's a Jacksonville guy. He played there for a while. So I think he would have been a good hire, honestly. I think, unfortunately, the whole Balky thing just didn't work out for that way. But you look at a guy like Peterson, he does. It's not that he has a bad record. He's 42, 37-1 with a 531 winning percentage regular season with the Philadelphia. He is a former quarterback, so he probably could develop and work with Trevor Lawrence. So that's not a bad thing either. Playoffs, he's a 667 percentage at 4-2, and then his overall career was 49, 39-1 with a 541. So he's about above average guy. He did have Carson. He did develop Carson Wentz. He was working with Jalen Hurts. I don't think the whole Jalen Hurts thing went really well with him. So I think that was kind of like towards the end of him in terms of Philadelphia. He does have some leadership skills. He does have experience, which I think is what they're banking on with the whole Super Bowl thing. That's what Shad Khan has basically come out and said. He made 3 consecutive postseasons, 2017 to 2019. He does have experience with developing Alex Smith as well. So he's got developmental qualities. I just, for me with him is he's going to come there with the veteran presence. He's got coaching experience. So he is going to be able to do that. I just don't know if he's going to be able to change the culture of Jacksonville in the way that it needs to be changed. And I think Byron Leftwich would have brought a different culture. And I think he would have, brought a different flavor to that team. Can I say it's better flavor? He doesn't have any head coaching experience, so it's kind of hard to say presumptively, but the potential of him certainly would say so.
Frankie, what do you think of the hire?
I think it was a beautiful hire from Jacksonville's part. When you have a coach like Doug Peterson, who went to the Super Bowl and actually beat the Patriots, my guys, and not only the Patriots, he beat Tom Brady also and Bill Belichick. So when you go ahead and you beat the GOAT in coaching and the GOAT in the quarterbacks, you're a great coach no matter what. Yes, he had a rough run at his last year and as a Philadelphia Eagle, but I don't think he's going to bring that same momentum to Jacksonville. I feel like in Jacksonville, he's going to be much better. Like Jay said, he also is a former quarterback, and going to Jacksonville to have young Trevor Lawrence, it's going to be great. I feel like he's going to build Jacksonville to be a winning team. Are they going to be a winning team next year? No, because they're also, they're kind of still in the rebuild mode with young talents. But Doug Peterson, I feel like he's going to turn this team around, because when he started with the Eagles they were kind of looking like, the Jacksonville Jaguars, minus, having better players and such as better coaches as well. But I feel like he's going to build this team around quickly, and I feel like this team will probably end up being a playoff contention team within like 2, maybe 3 years tops.
I mean, yeah, I was kind of indifferent on the hire because either way, like Jay said, like Frankie said, this team's still not going to be good for a couple more seasons. Anthony Price coming in saying, you hear that D. Adams wants to go to Jacksonville. I don't know if Devonte Adams wants to go to Jacksonville. I mean, Hatfield, Rodgers going to the playoffs a lot, getting a lot of wins. Do you really want to go down to Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence, who's been, I would say unproven his first season, right? Not the best first year. I don't know. They might give him the most money if that's what he wants, then sure. Because, I mean, I know we've mentioned that they have a pretty good amount of salary cap that they can use to get on big players. But is Jacksonville really a free agent, hotspot right now? We'll see. But I don't see that happening year one. What do you guys think?
I feel like, sorry, I didn't know if Jay was going to go quickly. I feel that Jacksonville is a good team. It was Urban Myers who made them look bad this season, yelling at your players, hitting your players. Nobody wants to play for a coach like that. So I feel maybe bringing in Doug Peterson, new head coach, the momentum and the environment will change in Jacksonville. Devonte Adams, you want to go ahead and play in Jacksonville? I think that'll be a good, okay move, because he'll be obviously the number one guy in the receiver position, and Trevor Lawrence will have a good, solid weapon in Devonte Adams. So if Devonte Adams want to go ahead and play for Jacksonville and play for Doug Peterson, go ahead, try it out. That's only if Aaron Rodgers comes back to the Green Bay Packers. If he comes back to the Green Bay Packers, he's not leaving.
Jay, do you think Adams is going to end up in Jacksonville?
How old is Devonte Adams? Do we know? I know he's in his mid-20s, correct?
Yeah, I think he's about 24, 25.
Devonte Adams is currently – no, actually, he's 29, going to be 30 on –
Oh.
So he's 29 going on 30.
Yeah.
So right now, Devonte Adams is in his prime years. And this is kind of where I kind of say hell no. I say hell no because, it's going to take Peterson at least 3 years. If they give him 3 years, it takes him at least 3 years to really reverse the culture and change the culture that needs to be done. Number one, they're going to have to work and do a lot of damage control and really do a lot of healing in that locker room, because you don't really know what Jacksonville has, because it was so toxic. You couldn't really develop the chemistry needed. So, now that the toxicity has left, you still got an open wound. So you have to you're going to have to bring in a coach that could bring the locker room together evaluate what you have, see if what you have can work, and then see what parts need to be interchanged and brought in for others. Do you go to a full rebuild and start bringing in, drafts and things like that? I don't know. Only time will tell, and Peterson is going to have to evaluate that. But if you're Devonte Adams and you're going to be 30 this year, you're in your prime years. You got maybe 2-3 years of high level play at the wide receiver position before you start taking a dip. I don't think he's going to want to spend his prime years on a team that's uncertain. I think he's going to want to go to a team that has, championship aspirations. And I think he either stays in Green Bay because it looks like Aaron Rodgers, possibly is going to stay there, but I don't know. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But I think he either stays in Green Bay or he goes to a title contender and tries to help them out there. But I don't think he's going to go to a team that's either uncertain or possible rebuild.
Yeah, that's what I see. I don't see him going unless he wants to. If he wants the money, like Anthony's saying, he agrees with me. If he wants the big payday, go to Jacksonville, right? Enjoy some nice tax-free rest of your life there. But if you want to go to a winner, I wouldn't go there, especially like Jay said, you're in your prime, right? You're 29, going on 30. This upcoming NFL season, you still got you still got a good bit of years left. He's looked really good so far. And Jacksonville, like you said, they don't really have a number one receiver. Their leading receiver this past season was Marvin Jones Jr. And, he played in 17 games, had 73 catches for 832 yards, but only 4 touchdowns. So not really nothing to, tip your hat for. And that's not what a number one receiver should give you. So he'd definitely be, prime suspect, prime target number 1 there in Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence. And I think that would be a good fit, right? If Trevor can keep developing and having an elite receiver like Devonte Adams is, you're right, one of the top wide receivers in football right now. So I think it would benefit that. I just don't see him going down there to Jacksonville. It wouldn't surprise me 1,000%, but I think he'd rather go to a contender right now than a team who's rebuilding, especially.
Hey, Logan.
Hey, what up?
If he wants to go to Miami, enjoy that tax-free money and still be a contender. That's Miami's looking pretty sexy right now.
I'm about to tell you, Miami.
And I'll say that because could you imagine Waddle, Devonte Adams, and Parker, that triple threat and the receiving, and then you got Haskins and you got that tight end over there as well.
I like that idea. I like it. But Jay, who's Miami's head coach?
I don't know. We haven't even got that yet.
Exactly.
But hey, that's semantics. Hey, listen, there's coaches out there that are still available. I know they're not going to go out to Brian Flores. That's pretty much done out the water. Yeah. But Caldwell is still out there. Dan Culley is still out there. Freaking Bieniemy, he's still out there. Listen, Miami is still an attractive destination.
Right.
If they brought a Devonte Adams in there, it's still, for a coach, it would still be an attractive destination because you can instantaneously be in the playoffs and go into the Super Bowl, possibly.
Do you guys know this off of hands? I can look it up. But Anthony's saying, what's the rules if a player gets tagged? I think they can trade him because I don't see why they wouldn't be able to. But let's not forget that Adams can get franchise tag if the Packers want to.
Yeah. So the player doesn't have the rights. If he gets tagged, he's tagged.
That's up to the organization if they want to tag him or not. So
once you're tagged, that's why people don't want to get tagged. But they're going to have to pay him if they get tagged. They're going to have to pay him, what it's worth.
Right. They're basically going to pay him like a year's worth of salary. That's a lot more than would be on like a lengthier contract.
And I think you can get tagged up to 3 times. I think after the 3rd tag, then you're pretty much quote unquote on your own.
Okay. If Devonte Adams did choose to go Jacksonville, you don't think that'll open eyes to other players? Like, wow, the number 1 wide receiver went over to Jacksonville. Does he feel that confident that he can win? Well, let me go work with him and see what they got over there.
We've seen teams who get a star player and people automatically start going over there and wanting to really be on a team that no one thought they'd ever be on, right?
Rams, for example.
Right, yeah. The Rams, they weren't doing a whole lot. Now look at them now. The Browns, right? The Browns did nothing for 20 years. Then this year they didn't do so hot, but in the past 2 or 3 seasons they look pretty good. So there's like I said, I like the Peterson hire, right, for Super Bowl champ. And I think, like you said, you just got to rebuild the culture more than anything over there in Jacksonville because you have a GM that seems like no one likes. You had a horrible 2021 season. Your number 1 overall quarterback didn't play the best. Your head coach got fired halfway through the season. So they have a lot more to do in Jacksonville if they want to get back to the playoffs. But speaking of a team who was in the playoffs and one who got knocked out, potentials MVP, right? Aaron Rodgers has said that Green Bay is going to offer him a massive extension. So do you guys think that he's going to take it? And let's not forget that Aaron Rodgers currently is his age. He is 38 right now, going to be 39.
Yeah, I think he's going to be 39 come season time.
Oh, Logan froze. Yeah. So Aaron Rodgers is going to be 38, turning 39. Do we think that it's a good fit for him to re-sign and get that big money contract? Jay, what do you think?
If like I said, if Rodgers stays, and it would benefit him, I think, because he has a rapport with Rodgers, and Rodgers Rodgers puts the ball in his lap. So why would it not, right? I mean, they have good chemistry, right? And they can still be competitive. I mean, the Green Bay Packers are still a competitive team. They just they didn't get it done this year, but it doesn't mean that they can't still get it done, right?
Right.
But the thing about it is, for me, is with the whole Jacksonville thing, to answer Logan's thing, even if you brought in a Devonte Adams, right? My thing about that is, everybody knows Jacksonville has a horrible culture. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows that culture is toxic. Everybody knows that. Nobody knows, if Shad Khan and that GM Balky are going to be able to turn this team around, even with the Doug Peterson. There's so many what ifs regarding the Jacksonville Jaguars that even if you brought a Devonte Adams in, there's no guarantee that other people are going to want to come just based off of the Jacksonville Jaguars history. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I got to be honest with you. And I'll be honest with you, Frank, if I'm in my prime years, I don't want to waste them. I don't want to take a chance.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll be honest with you. I'm looking at Tampa. Tampa's looking pretty nice. They do need a quarterback. But I'm pretty sure that they have great coaching. They have great players. They'll figure out the quarterback situation in Tampa. The only downside to Tampa is they're so damn cap strapped for money. They may not be able to bring in the current free agents that they currently have. They got 23 of them. So that's the money situation is unattractive when it comes to Tampa. That's the downside, right?
Right.
It's not a show without some technical difficulties, guys.
But that's all right. That's what we live for.
And that's why we got a backup producer and me, Logan. That's why I might not be able to change the slides, but hey.
We'll get that in some secret training off the books, right? We'll get that off of air. But we got Anthony Price. I don't know if you guys pulled this up or not. He said, how can you give that contract if you don't have the money in your cap room?
Exactly.
Green Bay don't have
and I get that. That's what I'm saying with Tampa. It just won't work.
I'm so glad that he brought that up.
Thank you.
Honestly, I was going to say that. How can they offer Aaron Rodgers a massive contract if they're not going to have money to do it? The only way they can do it is by getting rid of big name players that are going to be taking money away from them.
But that's why I brought up Miami, because Miami does have so much damn cap. It's ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, they could even go after a Russell Wilson, right? Even they're not going to go after Deshaun. We already kind of know that. But they could go after a Russell Wilson, bring him in and pair him up with Devonte Adams and tell Trevor Lawrence, if you think Trevor Lawrence is more seasoned. I don't know, man. That's Jacksonville. Tua. I think you have Tua. You put Tua at the backup because I don't believe in Tua. I think most people still don't believe just because he's so injury prone. But you bring in a guy like Russell Wilson, throw him in Miami with the cap, throw in Devonte Adams, and pretty soon now you're looking at a Super Bowl team or a very, very good potential to be a Super Bowl team.
And going back to the Devonte Adams, topic from a second ago, talking about him. The Packers can't afford to pay Rodgers and keep him. You only got to get one of them. That you're going to lose your whole team because they're paying a lot of guys a lot of money. And I mean, yes, I know Rodgers has been there forever. It looks like he might be on his way out for a couple of seasons. I don't see him playing a whole lot longer. Like I said, he's 38 going on 39. And I mean, could he play until Tom Brady's age of 44? I think so, right? I mean, you don't think so?
No.
I don't know if the production would be as good, but I don't know if he wants to. That's the thing I was getting at. I don't think he wants to play that long. I think like maybe Aaron once Rodgers, he gets to 40, he'll be done.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like Aaron Rodgers has about 3 more years left in him.
Yeah, that's what I'm giving him.
Yeah, I think once he gets to that big 40, I think, or maybe even 41, just depends, right? Well, I think that might be the last we see of him.
Even if Green Bay was to offer him a massive deal, I still think Aaron Rodgers is not going to take it. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is done with Green Bay. He had his time in Green Bay. He's seen what Peyton Manning did. He's seen what Tom Brady did. He wants to go to another team, try and win a Super Bowl at another team because he deeply knows he can win a Super Bowl. It's not him. I mean, some part of it is him. It always comes back to the quarterback.
It's a team,
but it's also based on players, the coaching, and the management. And I think Aaron Rodgers just wants to go elsewhere. And we all been on an agreement that he might end up going to Denver. And if he does go to Denver, that'll be a shocker if he wins a Super Bowl with Denver. But the real question is, if he chooses Denver, how can that work out? Because Denver right now is up for sales. Like, are they able, since they put up the market for Denver,
manager that could probably make?
Are they able to bring in new players while they're up for sale? Is my question.
I would hope, because that'd be pretty rough if you couldn't. So I would think that. I mean, I'm just assuming here that the owner would have someone they could appoint, maybe to the GM, and be like, "Look, I'm leaving. We're up for sale. Handle the money for a couple of weeks till we get a new owner." Like, so we have no idea who it could be. We brought up a couple of names in the past, but nothing's been approved yet. We just saw this past week they're up for sale for $4 billion. So if you guys want to start a GoFundMe for us, we collectively own the Denver Broncos and make this team a Super Bowl champion.
The thing about that is I feel
Logan,
like
resident cheesehead Joshua Bailey saying, "Drop that bum." So Josh, I'm just curious. Do you believe in Jordan Love? Do you feel the love this holiday season?
No.
Nobody. Matter of fact, they need to go Jordan Love while they can, and then start that whole quarterback search all over again.
But I see Green Bay probably picking up Jimmy Garoppolo if Aaron Rodgers leaves.
I was about to say you can trade Garoppolo because you're gonna have to trade him. Trade Garoppolo for. I don't know, because you got Trey Lance there, so you don't need a quarterback. So I don't know what Jordan Love's going to be doing. Maybe shining some cleats later. I don't know. But it's been, like 2 or 3 years, and he's barely seen the field? I mean, I get Aaron Rodgers, but come on.
I really think there's a few destinations that Aaron Rodgers would probably go to. Obviously, I still think he stays with Green Bay, but if he wants to leave Green Bay, I think, like you said, I think Denver is probably the prime one because of Hackett being over there. And I still got to believe that there's been conversations that have been had to have him come over there. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did wind up there. And I will say this. If Aaron Rodgers does not go to Denver, then Denver is going to look like the biggest chump on the whole market because they didn't land this spot because of the lateral move from Fangio.
They need a quarterback more than anything.
He don't suck in the playoffs. He sucks at certain teams in the playoffs, mainly the 49ers.
Right.
But the only two teams that and I agree with you, Frankie, the only two teams that I think can really, truly bring him in and have cap room and give him what he wants and be competitive would be Miami. I think Miami's one, and I think what Pittsburgh Steelers could offer with the competitive team they have there. But I really think it's either going to come down to Miami, Denver, or Green Bay. I think those are the three that he would be looking at.
All right. We'll see where he goes. Like I said, it's probably been almost a year, right, since we were talking about Rodgers wanting to leave, because let's not forget, before this season even started, there's rumors that he was going to get traded. We know he's not happy there, and it looks like now the writing's on the wall. He's probably going to be gone, and we'll see where he goes this upcoming off season. All right, let's get into some basketball news. A trade went down. As we all know, the trade deadline is this upcoming week. It's going to be fun. So the Clippers and Trailblazers had a trade involving Norman Powell, Robert Covington. Both of them are going from the Trailblazers to the Clippers in exchange for Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, Keon Johnson, and a 2025 second-round pick going to Portland. So who won this trade, guys? Do you like it better for the Clippers or for the Blazers? Frankie, I'll let you start.
Can you repeat the trade again? I'm sorry. I'm watching the Olympics. I didn't hear.
Yeah, no problem. So the Clippers got Norman Powell and Robert Covington. The Trailblazers got Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, Keon Johnson, and a 2025 second-round pick.
Wow.
Who do you think won that trade?
The Trailblazers. Trailblazers, definitely. I feel like, they got some veteran guys, and they also got a draft pick out of that. I don't see the Clippers doing anything anymore. The Clippers are done, honestly. They're playing good, I guess. But I don't think the Clippers are going to be the same Clippers like they were before. But that's a good move for the Blazers to get Eric Bledsoe and a 5th round draft pick. I like the Eric Bledsoe move.
And Jay, before I give your opinions on this, I want to just clarify. The Blazers signed Powell to a 5-year, $90 million contract that they are now giving over to the Clippers. So they're clearing cap space, and it puts Portland under the luxury tax threshold. And now it expands the Clippers payroll from $93.9 million to $112 million. So the Clippers they ate a big contract. That's basically what this trade was eating a giant contract the Blazers didn't want anymore. So Jay, who do you think won this, Clippers or Blazers, or was it pretty neutral on both sides?
I think it's a neutral thing. I think they both kind of won this for different reasons. I think the Clippers won it because in Norman Powell, they get 18 points a game, 40% shooting. He's a high-flying guard, but he's also a really good defender. We kind of know what Robert Covington brings. Robert Covington brings you a good defender, a good rebounder, gives you some toughness on defense, and that's kind of what the Clippers needed, especially with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard not being able to play due to injuries. So I think those kind of guys will kind of help you solidify a little bit and kind of keep you, basically at the current seeding, which I think they have at the 6th or 7th seed. Kind of keeps them where they are until those guys can come back from injury, which is starting to look now that Kawhi Leonard probably won't come back and that Paul George will come back eventually. On the flip side, on Portland, if you are going into a rebuild mode, or if you're trying to make a big run at, some free agents or what have you, getting rid of Powell clears $90 million, like you said, off the books. Eric Bledsoe and Justin Winslow, if you don't believe in those guys, you took on their contracts, basically be done because they're both on 1-year deals. So if you don't believe in Bledsoe and Winslow, you can either buy out their contract or you can just release them in a year, and that clears their money. So you're basically clearing $90 million plus the 2 contracts that you have there. So really that means with Portland, you're basically trying to, number one, clear money. Number 2, grab a draft pick, which would come from Detroit, which would give you a really good draft pick in the 2nd round, being as from Detroit. Yeah. And that means now you're looking to put your eggs in the basket of Keon Johnson, who is a 19-year-old with potential. So what is Portland? I think Portland wins because they clear money off the books. They get a draft pick and a 19-year-old with potential. So I think Portland, given their situation, wins on that front. And I think the Clippers win because it keeps them a little bit competitive while they're waiting for their ailing stars to come back.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jay. I think Portland won for the moment just because they got a draft pick. They cleared some cap space. They got a potentially good player there with Johnson. You don't know he's only 19. But I put this picture because poor Dame Lillard, right? He stuck this whole team his whole career. He said, "I'm not leaving. This is my team." All that good stuff. And now they're you can see the ship is sinking with him. Don't get me wrong, right? Eric Bledsoe, good veteran player. Johnson, Winslow, all those guys right there, they're okay. But is that a team that you look at and think they can win the NBA Finals?
Oh, hell no.
No. And that's why he stayed there, because he wanted to have a team with some veterans to get to a finals or get deep in the playoffs even. And you ain't going to do that now. Especially, don't get wrong, Covington, right, and Powell, they're solid players. I think they had a better chance with those 3 than the ones they just got. So, the Blazers are maybe 10 games under 500 right now.
Yeah,
they're hanging on for the play-in spot. It's tough, right? Because we'll have this for another topic, but man, poor Damian Lillard. Do you think the Blazers should just go ahead and move on from him, and that way just completely start tanking?
I bet he's rethinking about that meeting between LeBron and AD.
Hey, this is what I think. If I'm Damian Lillard, I think he's thinking like, you know what? I tried to stay loyal to this franchise,
right.
and there are players out there like Bradley Beal and Dame Lillard that are old school loyalists.
Right.
But at the same time, Dave, you got to understand, you saw the writing was on the wall. You knew the writing was on the wall. You know that team isn't going anywhere. So what else can you do but rebuild? So you really should start looking to owners and saying like, hey, look, trade me. Send me to LA for Russell Westbrook. Send me to, the Philadelphia for Ben Simmons. I don't know. Do something just where the money works and I can get to a contender.
Right, because he's not getting any younger, right? He's been in the league for a while now. He's been on some good teams, right? Back when LaMarcus Aldridge was in his prime, him and CJ McCollum, they had a good few years. It's just tough with the Warriors and whatnot. But yeah, I think it's time they trade him, get rid of his money, just start rebuilding, right? Kind of do what OKC did, right? You got rid of Chris Paul, you got all these young guys. I know they suck right now, but I mean there's potential, right? There's potential for the future. Because I mean, if I was the Blazers, I wouldn't want to keep a giant contract for us not even winning, right? We're paying these guys hundreds of millions of dollars just to be in 10th place, 11th place, or whatever, and that ain't gonna cut it. So I would trade him, get a plethora of draft picks. Because I mean, Dame Lillard's a great player. He's still very valuable. You can get a lot for him. A lot of young guys too. So I would trade him, see if you can get for him if the market's right. And it sucks because it looks like he really wants to stay there and all, but man, if he wants to ever get that ring, I don't think it's going to happen in Portland.
I don't know if you guys know, the New Orleans Pelicans are also looking to trade up, and they're looking to get CJ McCollum.
Well, they got Ingram, right? They can trade Ingram. I mean, that's who else would they trade, right? Zion, they're going to trade him. I don't know who else they got on the team. Like, I got no clue who's on the Pelicans right now besides those two. But all right, guys, as you can see here, our next topic, the reserves for the All-Star game have been announced. Let's see. In the East, we have Jimmy Butler, Darius Garland from the Cavaliers, James Harden from the Nets, Zach LaVine from the Bulls, Chris Middleton from the Bucks, Jason Tatum from the Celtics, and Fred VanVleet from the Toronto Raptors. So before I move over to the West, you guys surprised by any of these players? And did you think there were any snubs in the East that should have got in?
I'll let Frankie go first.
Hey, Frankie, go ahead.
Sorry, I was eating a candy. Yeah, I think what is it? Andrew Wiggins. That was a big surpriser to me. I didn't think that Andrew Wiggins was going to be in the All-Star, let alone be a starter in the All-Star at that. As for snubs, we can honestly say there's been a lot of big snubs that are not in the NBA All-Star. And for one of them is right there on the screen, Brandon Ingram. Why is he not an All-Star? He's honestly a beast for the Pelicans. I'm looking at the list right now, and some of these names it doesn't get to me. I mean, it's really weird to see. What's really pointing out to me, honestly, and it's Andrew Wiggins. Why is he in there? I don't understand why Andrew Wiggins is in there.
To your point, Frank, I'll go ahead and name the West reserves off the top of my. I'll go ahead and do those. For the reserves in the West, we had Devin Booker from Phoenix, Luka Doncic out of Dallas, Rudy Gobert from Utah, Draymond Green from Golden State. I said Draymond's not going to play. I think he's got like a back injury, so he'll get replaced by someone. We don't know who. Donovan Mitchell in the Jazz, Chris Paul for the Suns, and Karl Anthony Towns with the Minnesota Timberwolves. So those are all the reserves in the West. So go ahead, Frankie.
I don't even want to. It's just, I mean, the West is going to win. No doubt about it. West is going to win. Me and Jay know the West very well. So, we got some beast players. But it's a draft. We can't say, we're going to have West players. KD could be that asshole and go ahead and get John Morant in his first pick. That's going to screw everything up. But, man, there's a lot of players that there's a lot of players that should be in here that isn't, and it's upsetting.
Yeah.
I like the list. It's a good list. It's just honestly, it really is, Jay. It's a good list. It's just it could be a little bit better. Honestly, it could be a bit better.
Jay, what did you think? Who were some snubs on either side?
I really think, number one, I'm going to address the Middleton situation. I like Middleton. I do. I like Chris Middleton. But I like Drew Holiday a little bit better than Middleton because I think he's a better defender. I would like to see Drew Holiday. If you're going to bring in a second Milwaukee Buck to go along with Giannis, I would have rather seen Drew Holiday over Middleton, personally. Then I look at like Draymond Green, not a bad guy. And correct me if I'm wrong. Draymond Green is a power forward, correct?
Correct.
I think I would have rather seen. I think I would have rather seen, instead of Andrew Wiggins and Draymond Green, I would have rather seen, I think, an Anthony Davis in there, or even a Sabonis in there.
The reason why they didn't put AD is because he's been out for like 2 months.
No, I know. I'm just saying. We're talking about snubs. Like I felt like, I felt like, I don't think Draymond should have been in there.
Draymond's not going to play.
Should have been in there either.
Yeah, Draymond ain't going to play. He's going to get He
but you know who I really think kind of got snubbed and is playing really well is Jaren Jackson out of Memphis.
That's a good one.
I feel like he should have been in there as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point. The All-Star games really don't mean much. It's just popularity. Yeah, really. I mean, it is. It's
it is. It's fans that are voting by names.
Fan votes for the starters, right? And then these guys pick whoever. So it's saying that Davis has been hurt. For me, I mean, a few snubs, right, that you could have maybe put in there that didn't get on the list. Tyler Hero out of Miami, right? He's been good this season, 20 points a game.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown also almost 24 points a game, 6 rebounds. LaMelo Ball, he didn't make it.
Yeah.
Almost 20 points a game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. And then out in the West, you had DeJounte Murray for the Spurs with Coach Pop, almost 20 points a game with 8 rebounds and almost 10 assists. So,
and what about Anthony Edwards out of Minnesota?
Yeah, he didn't make it either. So it's I mean, there's always going to be snubs, right? That's just the way the world is. I mean, like you see on the screen, right? Pascal Siakam, he's had a pretty solid season.
I was just about to say him. How come Siakam's not in there? His guy's like 21.4 points a game right now.
Yeah, Siakam's doing, like you said, 21.4 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. I mean, I get the Raptors that having the best season. Also, 2 other names I can think of, right? I don't see Bradley Beal. I don't see out of OKC. Where's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? He's been good.
He's out. He's actually out. Yeah, I have him on my fantasy for NBA. He sustained a right ankle sprain on Friday against the Pacers, and he's going to get reevaluated after the All-Star break.
Well, there you go. Just happened yesterday. So,
hey, is it just
good season though? Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Logan.
No, you're fine. You're fine, man. You're fine.
Is it just me, or every time Anthony Davis gets on the court, do you feel like you're just waiting to see the next injury happen?
Yeah.
Like literally every time he gets on the court, I feel like he's so fragile that, just the slightest bump or whatever, and he's done.
Jay, every time we see the Houston Rockets playing, we're always like, why aren't they a Canadian team yet? Why aren't they called the Montreal Heat or the Montreal Rockets? Sorry. They deserve to be in Canada. We don't know. The same thing with AD. It happens when it happens.
Read between the lines. Read between the lines, Frankie. Read between the lines.
Well, let's go between the lines, right? Let's talk some baseball. The MLB Players Association rejected the mediator proposal. I'm going to read the statement here from the MLBPA. It says 2 months after implementing their lockout and just 2 days after committing to players that a counter proposal would be made, the owners refused to make a counter and instead requested mediation. After consultation with our executive board and taking into account a variety of factors, we have declined this request. The clearest path to a fair and timely agreement is to get back to the table. Players stand ready to negotiate. So me and Jerry talked about it on Thursday. We said this season, spring training ain't going to start on time. And it seems like the players, right, they're standing up for what they believe in. That's fine. They want guys to make more money. They want the smaller guys to make more money. They want a whole lot of other stuff too. But it ain't looking like spring training, which is supposed to start in let me check
next month.
Yeah, next month. Looks like the first game is actually supposed to be February 26th with the Braves and Red Sox. So a quick Google search gave me that. So that's in like 2 weeks, guys.
Yeah.
This definitely yeah. So the first set of games start on February. They're supposed to start February the 26th.
Oh, so that is going into spring training.
So they should be in spring training right now.
They should be in camp, right? They should be pitchers and catchers reporting,
right?
Let alone playing games. So I definitely think it gets pushed back. But what you guys? I mean, Frankie, I'll let you give your thoughts on this first since you were here on Thursday. I mean, the writing's on the wall, right? We're not going to have this season start on time.
It sucks. I love baseball, and for it to get pushed back again, second time in 3 years, it just sucks. I hope that they can fix this. I hope they come to an agreement for players and coaches and everything, owners as well. Something needs to change here. And I don't understand what's going on. Why can't they come to a solid agreement? Just pay these players their money. They deserve it, due to the injuries they get. You got players that getting hit with fastballs, curveballs. You got players that are snapping their ankles and tearing their ACLs and pulling their quads, and they deserve this money. And for them not, to say we're gonna come up with an agreement and pull back from it. It upsets, not just the players but us fans as well, because we love baseball. We want baseball to come back as scheduled. We love our 181 games. We don't love our 66 games or less. Like that. That's not even a season. I hope that they can, make an agreement soon, and we get a good amount of baseball this year. But like Logan said, it doesn't look like it's gonna happen anytime soon. Let's just hope it comes before or around April. Because Frankie the Yankee wants to come back, guys. He wants to come back, honestly.
Yeah, it looks like you might need to put that in the closet for a little bit more, Frankie. You'd like to get a little bit more dust on it this season. Well, Jay, what do you think they should do?
First of all, Frankie the Yankee, your team is irrelevant. You're not going to be in the playoffs again this year. Or you'll be in the playoffs, but you're not going to go. The Astros, on the other hand, we have more to worry about.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you have more chances to go to the World Series and lose again.
Exactly. Well, that just means we're just a little bit more relevant. That's okay.
Yeah, because everybody loves to go to the World Series and lose.
Hey, at least we're in the World Series. Where are you at?
Can't relate.
I'd rather be happy to lose in the first round to watch your team lose in the championship.
Frankie, be nice. Be nice, Frankie. Hey, listen, here's my thing on this, right, folks? So you got Major League Baseball who wants mediation. They're like, okay, let's go to the table. Let's see what we can work out. Let's get this season going. And then you got the baseball players who are like, hell no. We don't need no damn mediation. We want you. We know what we want. We're not compromising, and you're going to give us what we want. So that's what kind of makes me nervous. Had the baseball players said, yeah, we'll be open to mediation. I know we're going to have to give you a couple of things, but we really want you to give us a couple of things. Let's see what we can work out, But the baseball players what scares me is I knew that spring training was going to get affected, and I knew it was going to get affected immensely. I really thought, that the season was going to start on time. But and I really think when I saw the mediation thing, I was like, "Oh yeah, they're bringing in the mediator. Oh yeah, we're gonna get the full season, but we're gonna lose some summer spring training. I get that." But when Major League Baseball players turned down mediation, I knew right then and there. Okay, now they're digging in their heels. Now we're looking at most likely definitely going into the regulars, and I would not be surprised now. I'm gonna change my stance now because the Major League Baseball players and the players union are changing their stance. And because they don't want to do any give or take, they want it basically their way. Now I'm definitely seeing a good, strong – unless the owners cave, which could happen. I don't think it will, but it could. If they don't cave, now that means we're definitely going to go into the season. How far in the season we go, I don't know. That's anybody's guess.
So I was reading up a little bit more on this. And basically it's just the whole mediator thing was just trying for MLB to kind of shortcut the players and just be like, look, let's get this season started. But the players, they said no. It's like, if it's not for us, y'all don't have a season. So I see
exactly.
And Alex Wood, pitcher for the Giants, he chimed in on Twitter. He said, how can MLB request for there to be a mediator from the federal government to help with negotiations when they literally haven't even done any negotiating up to this point, asking for a friend? So it looks like that was just a cop-out, right? That MLB was just trying to get this done. And the players weren't having it. And, good for them. Good for them. But it's been, 3 months? Maybe, close, probably 2-3 months. And season's supposed to start in 3 weeks. It ain't going to start in 3 weeks. I think they're going to have to cut the spring training games in half. I don't know what that's going to do for conditioning for the players or whatever, right? I hope they start the regular season on time because spring training, right? It's spring training. You just hope everyone gets healthy. But yeah, it's going to hurt. And like I told you, Jay, if MLB starts losing games, owners start losing money. And once money becomes involved, then we see who'll cave. We'll see who bites first.
So, who does it affect more, the owners or the players? Because the players, as long as they're striking, if you got a $300 million contract, but you're striking, well, now you're losing a lot of money as well. I mean, I don't know how much it is to them.
Yeah, I'm not.
Money at some level, right?
Yeah, no doubt about that. I saw something here on Twitter. I just want to bring it up to you guys real quick. Just interesting I saw. So you guys remember that fight with Markieff Morris and Nikola Jokic a couple of months ago, right?
Yes.
Morris hasn't played since then, which is crazy. That's been 2 months. So it says that Miami has a serious medical concern about Markieff Morris's playing status. It says Morris, who's been sidelined since Nuggets center Nikola Jokic shoved him to the floor 3 months ago, wants to play, but the team still has not cleared him to do so. So that is crazy. I mean,
that is crazy.
That's a hard shove, man. Jeez.
That is very crazy.
I just didn't want to bring that up. That's crazy stuff to play in 3 months because he got shoved pretty much.
Marquise Morris, is he with the Clippers or the Lakers? I always forget the Morris brothers.
Marquise Morris with the Heat.
The Heat, that's right. But he was with the Lakers at one point, and then he went to the Heat, right?
He was with us during the bubble championship.
Right. Okay, I got you. I'm with you.
All right, so you guys, we're big hockey fans here on the show. So we got some NHL All-Star games going on. They had the skills competition last night. That was pretty fun to watch. But we had the All-Star game today. And guys, I want to get your opinion on this format because I feel like the NBA should do this. So what the NHL did is they have the separate divisions go at it, and then they have one final game. So, for instance, they had the Metropolitan and the Pacific divisions fight each other, go against each other. The Metropolitan won. Then they had the Central and Atlantic go up against each other. The Central won. Then they had a championship game between the Metropolitan and the Central with the Metropolitan win 5-3. So I think the NBA should do this because I
saw that when I was looking at the NHL rosters, I was kind of confused by it because I saw that like each division have their own rosters.
Yeah, and I mean the NBA has divisions, right? But no one really cares about them, right? Do you really care what's going on in your own division? No, you care about what's going on in your conference. You might be third in your division, but you could be you could be fifth in the conference. So who cares? So I think with this, you can get more players involved. You can. Plus, it's fun.
I'm down for that. I'm down for divisions playing divisions and then playing an overall game. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Have like the Southeast or whatever go up against the Atlantic, and then the Central can go up against the Northwest or whatever, and then have in both conferences, and then have whatever divisions represented go up against whatever division in the West, and that's who your All-Star winner is.
So now you're making division rivalries.
Right. See,
I like division rivalries.
I would like that a lot more. What do you think about that, Jay?
I'm down for it, man. Honestly, I am. I think that's kind of because I think it gives more competitiveness or promotes more competitiveness within your division. So I like it. I like the division competitiveness aspect of it, and I'm all for competitiveness.
And I think this is something they've only adopted in the last couple of seasons. But I like it though. So because they did have traditional East and West, but I like the whole divisional thing a little bit better. Frankie, what about you?
It's so good that I want all our viewers and followers to share our live feed right now, because if you share a lot of it, this will end up to Adam Silver. And Adam Silver will see what my man Logan just brought up. And Adam Silver will say, "Oh, that's a good idea, Logan, and the team from Unscripted. We need to do what they did." And if we see that happen, we here at Unscripted, we're the first people to mention that. But it's good. I like division rivalries, man. It's amazing. It's kind of like the NFL when you got your head-to-head rivals. This is amazing. I wanted the Atlantic to win, guys, because I'm a Boston Bruins guy, and they're in the Atlantic division, and they got smoked by the Central division. But it was good, man. I like this idea.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what? Understand that. You know what, Frankie, you're a very interesting individual to me. You're almost like an anomaly to me, and I say you're an anomaly because you're the only person I know. If anybody understands the whole thing about New York and Boston, it's this guy. These guys hate each other. Like Boston hates New York. When you talk about the Red Sox and the Yankees, oh my God, that's like
I hate the Red Sox.
Hold on. That's taboo. It's taboo. And the fact that Frankie kind of like hovers around the Yankees for baseball, but then when it comes to other sports, then he kind of jumps across the border and does the unthinkable and looks at, the New England Patriots, and then he goes with the Boston Bruins, but then he jumps back across the border and then jumps over to LA, which is completely weird. I'm just saying, Frankie, your life is amazing. I want to see a book on you because we should study you.
Yeah.
I grew up watching baseball. I'll tell you my story real quickly right now.
Yeah.
I grew up watching baseball. In my household, in my grandfather's household, is straight Yankees. If you came into my grandfather's household wearing something other than Yankee, you better wave to him from the outside because you're not coming in. So we're a diehard Yankee fan in my family. That was the first sport that I've ever watched, that I ever followed until I grew up to learn the sport of football. Now, when it came to football, my father pushed me really hard to become a Giants fan. It did not work. It did not work. Um, I grew up and I liked watching the Patriots. I liked what Tom Brady and Bill Belichick were doing. I also liked Drew Bledsoe in the late '90s because that was my time of watching football. And I just followed the Patriots and Drew Bledsoe and Bill Belichick and then seeing Tom Brady evolve. I love the Patriots since then. Now, when it came to the Lakers, it was really hard for me with basketball because my father's father, my grandfather, my step grandfather, he's a Chicago Bulls fan because of the Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen era. So when I was little, all I watched was the Chicago Bulls. So I actually liked the Chicago Bulls when I was young growing up. But like I said, when I grew up to learn the sport and actually watch it myself, I grew up in the times of Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. That's when I just followed with the Lakers, and I'm like, okay, since I know the sport now, I'm gonna pick my team that I like, and I like the Lakers. I like Kobe Bryant. I like Shaq, and since then, I just followed with them. Now with hockey was really, it's a new sport to me. I wasn't a big follower with hockey. Hockey, it came to me around 3 years ago when I decided I want to become a podcaster. I said, if I'm going to become a podcaster, I got to have a hockey team just so we could talk about that team. I couldn't think of anyone, guys. Honestly, I didn't want to go with the Rangers. I didn't want to go for no New York team. I only rock one New York team, and that's the New York Yankees. Um, so I wanted to do something different. I looked at the Jersey Devils just because I like the name, but I didn't follow them much. And I sat down with my wife one day, and I'm like, I need a hockey team. Who should I go for? And she's just like, I don't know. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go with the Boston Bruins and stick with the city of Boston with my Patriots, and I might as well just do it. Whatever.
I mean, me and Jay, we picked my hockey team here on the show.
Yeah, we did. The Carolina
Hurricanes, because they were the closest arena near my house. So that's what I went with.
I went with Dallas Stars because it's the only hockey team in Texas. But here's the deal. This is what's interesting to me. For me and Logan's perspective on hockey, I kind of get where we are. We don't know a lot about it because it's not really a Southern sport that we grow up on, right? Nobody grows up on hockey, really, because it's not offered in high school. You don't see it around. There's no club leagues really for it. You just get whatever professional team, and then, okay, now this is your professional team. So we don't really have the background of that. So I kind of get why me and Logan are maybe a little bit slower to gravitate towards the hockey realm. What I don't understand is how a guy from the North
just because I'm from the North don't mean
all around you.
I didn't follow hockey, Jay.
I don't get that. Like, what's wrong with you?
I never followed hockey. My family never followed hockey. My family is not a hockey type sports family. We don't know nothing about hockey. When I was a kid,
it briefs well, but I guess what I was thinking was.
Maybe
you're a Southerner and New York style clothes.
No,
I don't know.
No,
maybe you're a closet Atlanta fan.
Maybe. You're talking to a guy that was born in Brooklyn, New York. In Brooklyn, we didn't even know about hockey. We didn't even know about the New York Rangers. That's how, we didn't know nothing about hockey, Jay. Nothing. The only thing we knew about hockey was figure skating at Times Square under the tree. At Rockefeller. So we didn't know nothing much of hockey.
But do you think, and this is what I think, we talk about, baseball, basketball, football, things like that. Do you think that hockey, and I know we're way off topic, we'll wrap it up with this, but do you think that hockey has just done a terrible job branding itself to, let's say, other generations outside of the typical Minnesota, Canada, New Hampshire, Connecticut, whatever?
Yes.
Do you think that? Because I really think it's a branding thing. I don't think they made themselves relevant enough to other people. You know what I mean?
To answer that quickly, I'm going to be honest with you. throughout my entire high school, we had barely any hockey sport. So that just goes to say right there that here where I'm from, you have hockey in college, but and in high school, my high school, I don't know about my wife's high school. We're two different high schools here in New York, but in my high school, we didn't have no hockey team. So it was all basically like football, basketball, wrestling, lacrosse, stuff like that. Um, Hockey, there was nothing, and I don't know why. The one thing that got me into hockey was the fights. That's the only thing that I loved about hockey. Is the one sport you can literally just drop your stick, drop your gloves, to pull off the helmets, and let's just get at it. And it's not gonna end until one of those guys gonna hit the ice. And that's what got my eye on hockey.
Right, and hockey is very difficult because, like, if you play football, I don't have to teach you how to run.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody knows how to run,
how to skate.
But to play hockey, number one, I gotta teach you how to work the blades. I gotta teach you how to go in reverse. I gotta teach you how to go frontwards.
So I gotta teach you how to stop.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot to learn in hockey. I mean, it's
all while wearing gear too.
And God forbid if you don't have good balance.
You put me in hockey, I'm cheating. If you hit that ice, I'm rolling over your ankle with my ice skates.
Yeah. And before we move on, I just want to showcase some of the skills events last night because I want to get your guys' opinion on this because we all know NBA All-Star Week's coming up. We talked about how the dunk contest, 3-point skills challenge, it doesn't have that much shine this year. So I want to showcase 3 events here from the NHL Skills Challenge. The first one I'm going to show you is the Fountain Face-Off, which is where they went to the Bellagio fountains, the famous ones out there in Vegas, and they had players shoot from a certain platform into various other platforms. Here is a video here. Let me pull it up here. All right, this is 3-time Olympian going through the Fountain Face-Off. Make sure you can see. Yep. All right, here we go.
Claude Drew's in first, so Everly would be out first. Here we go. Oh, bad bounce. There we go. Look at that. 1, still short. Come on, get it out. Here we go. That looks good. 2, that's 2. That's in. 3. Oh, come on, Jocelyn.
So that was the Fountain Face. That just looks cool, right? Just the visual of them.
Cool. That looks hard, but it looks cool.
Man, she did better at her challenge than Mac Jones and her cousins did in their challenge.
Yeah. All right, this up next is the Breakaway challenge, which is kind of like, I would guess their version of a dunk contest where they can do various tricks and whatnot. So this is...
First of all, before you play this, let's just acknowledge that he's the GOAT right now because he's wearing an average Joe's jersey. Dodgeball. That's amazing.
So this was
amazing.
Now Trevor did not win. Everyone says he got robbed, but this is the goal where he's doing it blindfolded because if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. So here it is from last night.
Let's get some mascots out here with some dodgeballs. What do you say? There he goes. Here come the mascots. Dodgeball.
Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious.
Was he supposed to hit it in the goal? Because he's celebrating and it didn't go inside.
Oh, he didn't. Oh.
No, I didn't see it go in.
Well, it was close enough, but I like the flair, right?
And that was hilarious. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Yeah, I like how Logan put that in. I also like how before he shot the ball or tried to shoot the ball, they put the dodgeball theme song in there.
Yeah, they had the guys throwing dodgeballs at him. And this one was a new one actually called 21 and 22. So the thing here is you try to hit the cards adding up to 21 like in blackjack without going over, but you got to shoot and hit them though. So he's
got a Dallas Stars jersey on. That's awesome.
Could go all night. These guys shoot so
well.
well.
Here it is.
All right, we got that. What are we going for here? Queen of clubs. Queen of clubs calls. On the right. Good. There's one.
That's unbelievable how they shoot. Did you shoot like that?
I didn't have this
here with the shots.
So I mean, that's pretty neat, right? It's something different. It's something creative, and I feel like that's kind of what the NBA is lacking, really, especially football. Man, I don't. The Pro Bowl is tomorrow. No one cares. I've never cared for the Pro Bowl. It's just it's a game. It's a game. It means
I care about it because the AFC always dominates the NFC. But this year in the Skills Challenge, the NFC dominated the NFC or the AFC.
And one last thing too with the All-Star game for NHL, I think the players got money if they won. So
yeah,
that's interesting.
It's incentivized.
Yeah, the NFL, NFC players all got money for winning.
Yeah, so I mean, at least they, skills challenge, that's fine. But I think the Pro Bowl is probably like the least marketed. Just there's no meaning for it really. It's just money.
I just want to say for the skill challenge in the NFL, I want to give my congratulations to Jay's guy, Trevon Diggs. That guy, he won the catch competition. He's not even a wide receiver. He won over Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, and someone else that I can't remember. Oh, just Jefferson. He won over.
Tyreek Hill was at the NHL All-Star game.
Oh yeah, he was chugging beers like Steve Austin.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I saw that. I sent that to y'all earlier.
Yeah, I saw that. And by the way, the Kobe Bryant All-Star Trophy is beautiful. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's just a gorgeous trophy, and it's very well thought out.
Very much. All right, let's go to some. Speaking of basketball, let's go to some college basketball here. Duke and North Carolina had a game a little bit earlier on today. The winner was Duke by a score of 87-67, so won by 20. And this was Coach K's final game in this historic rivalry for the Blue Devils. So, I mean, Jay, it's a little bit bittersweet, right? They got the win, but it's the last time he's ever going to be doing it.
It is bittersweet, but at the same time, hey, Coach K had to hang it up at some point. I mean, if he's going to go out, like I always said, Logan, if you're going to run off into the sunset, man, make it memorable. And Chapel Hill, UNC versus Duke is a rivalry that goes back to 1980 as far as Coach K is concerned, and it has been epic. Just freaking epic, Like I said, I think he's like 49-46. Now he's like 50-46. Mm-hmm. Obviously being more victorious over Chapel Hill. So, and for him to go out with a 20-point blowout, hey, Coach K, hey, I'm gonna give mad props to you, man, because you went out the way you want to go out, and obviously he still has more to do. Right. But if you don't know, UNC versus Duke is a hell of a rivalry, and to get that rivalry win is awesome.
Yeah, one last win. Duke at the moment, they are 19-3, good for 9th in the NCAA. North Carolina, not the strongest team this year. They are currently not ranked in the top 25. So, I mean, Duke, they're headed for March Madness pretty soon. We'll see if they can keep up momentum. But, Frankie, what did you think of Coach K's final performance, getting the big win in today's game?
I loved it. I love Coach K. I love Duke. I'm a huge Duke guy. We didn't look good last year. The last couple of years, we haven't looked good. And for us to be where we're at, number 9 right now, with a 19-3 record, probably gonna move on up in the rankings after this win. It's dominant, man. Coach K is going out with his head held up high, and he's going out, trying to go out with another trophy for Duke. And I really hope that Coach K and the organization of Duke with the players can keep focusing and do this for Coach K, not just for yourselves, not just for the city of Duke or anything like that, but for Coach K. You need to do this for this man. He deserves to go out on top. And with this win, with his final win over North Carolina, this puts him at an overall record of 50-46 over the Tar Heels. So, congratulations, Coach K.
And hey, don't forget the Austin Rivers shot to win the game, and Trey Jones shot 2.0 to win the game. Both of those were buzzer beaters. And I mean, there's just so much this rivalry. It's just insane.
Yeah, there's so much history between both these programs. That's why it's probably the premier rivalry in college basketball. I mean, both these teams are basketball schools, right? I know North Carolina's getting a little bit better in football, which is nice to see. But I mean, these are the alphas, right? You always hear about these two schools, and glad for Coach K. I don't got a bone in this fight, but happy for him to get the win, big win by 20, and we'll see if he can keep that momentum up going into March Madness, which we're finally having again this year, right? Good to see. So
with fans,
with fans. Because we didn't have it in 20, right? Had it in 21 without fans. And here we are back at it. Probably, I would assume, full stadium packed. So that's going to be fun. Can't wait.
Oh, it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be fun, man. We get to fill out brackets. It's going to be good. We'll do something big for March Madness here on the show. Don't worry.
Yeah, Frankie C is gonna go undefeated again all the way.
Oh, there you go. Because we all do that. But
I never have.
Let's move on to the NBA. Julius Randle. Boy. A New York sweetheart last year. Everyone loved him. And man, have the tides changed.
All I could do is laugh.
Should the Knicks trade Julius Randle? The Knicks underperforming this year. Julius Randle doesn't seem to have that same fire. Could it be, guys, because he got a big payday? Frankie? Yes.
This is funny. This is funny to me because Julius Randle had an amazing year last year until they got to the playoffs and he got exposed. Then they start off hot this year, looking like, okay, the Knicks are going to do something. And then the Knicks turned out to be the New York Knicks. And, they just go downhill. Should the Knicks trade Julius Randle? That's not the real question. The real question is, does Julius Randle want to be traded from the Knicks? That's the real question. I think he should leave. He should leave the New York Knicks. He's a good player, but you're not going to win in New York. Look at Carmelo. Look at Jeremy Lin. So many more players. J.R. Smith. You had so many good talents in New York, where New York had many opportunities to make it to the finals and win a championship, but couldn't because it's the New York Knicks. Julius Randle is still young. He's still in his mid-prime, or even, started in his prime. And he's still got a lot left in the tank. He's not gonna, he's not gonna show up and he's not gonna win in the New York Knicks. I mean, if you're gonna play like you did last year, then you need to do that at a different team. It cannot happen with the New York Knicks. You're gonna waste your talent in New York for no reason. I think he should go. He should go. And Jay's over there reading love notes.
Hey. Hey, listen, when I look at this picture, all I think is Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z. Yeah, I'm up at Brooklyn. Now I'm down in Tribeca right next to De Niro, but I'll be hood forever. I'm the new Sinatra. And since I made it here, I can make it anywhere. Yeah. Okay, Julius Randle. I can go on and on about that song, but I'm not a damn good singer. But I think you get the point that I'm making. And the point that I'm making is Julius Randle, hey, you're not looking too good right now. And New York's not looking too good right now. And maybe it's time for a change of scenery. I get it. You're averaging 18 points, 9 rebounds, a little over 5 assists, and you're shooting 41% from the field. But I don't know if this is your team. I haven't seen enough out of you to say that this is my team. So maybe it is time for a trade. And where do we go? Do we go to maybe a Sacramento Kings for a Darren Fox? I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah. That is interesting you brought that up, Jay, because there is reports, right? Because I don't know how people find this out, but both Julius Randle and De'Aaron Fox have unfollowed their teams on Instagram, so that might mean something. It just adds to the rumors that are the NBA. I mean, like you said, Julius Randle had a breakout year last year, right? In the regular season, looked great. Postseason, I don't know what happened, fell apart. Got a big contract, right? Because he played good. This year hasn't played as well. Points are down. Like you said, he's just not having a good year. Rebounds are down. Assists are down. Just, I don't know what's going on. Turnovers.
Hey, Frankie.
High.
Frankie.
It's the Knicks.
Frankie. In the background. In New York, concrete jungles where dreams are made.
I think Frankie's got a little
you
bit.
Can't do.
Also, by the way, Frankie, I think you might have a little bit pizzazz because the Lakers and Knicks are currently playing right now with the Knicks up by a score of 42-29 after the first quarter. So Lakers playing some tremendous defense to start off the game.
Freddie Henderson, your team is looking terrible. You look like
it's early, Jay. Stop, Jay. It's early.
I looked up the score. The first one says, "Julius, please don't trade me, Randle." So at the moment, let me check the score. Is
the LA and loser stand for loser?
I don't know. Let me know when we actually find out what your real team is, the Rockets or the Mavericks.
I told you it's the Rockets. You know it's the Rockets.
Are you sure? Because you look like you're wearing Dallas blue right now for Mavericks.
Come on. Listen, blue is in my color wheel.
Exactly, Mavericks.
No, blue should look good on me.
You shouldn't have any blue in there, Jay. You trade. Come on, you don't have.
Even my hat has blue in it, man. Come on, but it doesn't
exactly a hat of a stick figure of Jay running away from the Houston Rockets, moving to Dallas Mavericks.
Hey, listen.
So yeah, we talked about Julius Randle not having a great game this season, but he's doing good so far. 12 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And a block on 4 of 6 shooting, but it's really RJ Barrett lighting up 6 of 7, 3 of 4 from the 3, and 17 points. So those are the main two putting in the work for the Knicks right now as they lead the Lakers. So, like I said, we'll see. Lakers ain't looking too hot, but Frankie, we'll like I said on Tuesday, right? We talked about the trade deadline. We'll get your opinions on who your team should trade. How about that? And now, in a great segue, as we always do on these shows, there's reports that LeBron, right, LeGoat, according to Frankie, is going to leave the Lakers to play with Bronny, depending on where he gets drafted. So, guys, we could be seeing LeBron James in a Sacramento King, Oklahoma City, Portland Trail Blazer. I don't even know, the New Orleans Pelicans jersey with Bronny. Sounds disgusting.
What if Bronny gets drafted by the Houston Rockets?
Oh my God!
I'm just
Frankie's
saying.
Never gonna watch the NBA again.
No, because you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. If Bronny gets drafted to the Houston Rockets and LeBron ends up going to the Houston Rockets, and Jay starts calling LeBron the GOAT, I'm gonna call Jay out. I'm gonna call you out, Jay.
No. Hey, Frankie, stay on planet Earth. I don't care if LeBron comes to Houston or not. That is not going to change my influence.
So, if LeBron go to Houston and he ended up winning a championship for Houston, you're not going to call him a GOAT?
No, I would not.
Stop, Jay.
No, I would not. No, you're not going to listen. I can like a player and he can be on my team and I support him, but there's no way in hell. I already know. Everybody knows Michael Jordan.
That's a good
matchup. You just discombobulated me. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I don't care. There's nothing you can say. Listen, I love Hakeem Olajuwon. Look, we chose Hakeem over Michael. We could have got Michael. Michael could have been a Houston Rocket, but we chose Hakeem. I love Hakeem. I love everything about Hakeem. He's my boy. He's my dog. I ride or die with him. He brought me 2 championships. But even I know, man, listen, Michael is Michael. Michael is the guy. There's no Bron ever. I don't care what uniform Bron wears. He will never be the GOAT, in my opinion. That's Michael Jordan. And
I just want to get it cleared up. I don't call LeBron the GOAT. I call him one of the GOATs. Bron is he's an elite guy. There's no doubt about how elite he is. He's kind of like, if this was like the NFL, he would be like a Drew Brees. Like a Drew Brees. He would be like a Drew Brees. Kobe Bryant could be like a Peyton Manning, and Michael Jordan would be the Tom Brady. That's what I feel like.
I think what LeBron James does off the court, to me, is really more impressive than what he does on the court.
I like that. Okay.
Let's be honest. What LeBron has done with the school, do you know how many people he's impacted? How much education? Even my wife is in the background saying, oh, my God.
Melanie's there?
Yeah.
Hi, Melanie.
He is so pushing education. He's amazing.
And here she comes.
For those of you who don't know, Melanie is our former producer. She still is. She hasn't been around, but there she is. Look at the face. Hi, Mel.
Hey, LeBron is awesome for academics and education. Like, he has pushed so hard.
Yeah, Jay, shut up.
Like inner city stuff. Like, he is really pushing to get kids motivated and their families also, and providing resources for them that they would have never had access to.
So, Mel, would you agree that LeBron is a GOAT?
He is one of the GOATs.
See, boom, there you go. She's on my side, Jay.
So you don't get anywhere else.
I can take my first. Okay, so it's Black History Month, Black History Appreciation Month, and we have all these people down our hallways, pictures of them and quotes of them. And I took my kids on a walk of the hallway, and one of the main people they recognized was LeBron James. And I said, "What does he do? He plays basketball." That's what they said.
That's it.
He's the best, they say. But then we've got Michael Jordan on the wall too. And they walk by Michael Jordan like, oh, that's Michael Jordan. Oh, like LeBron James, like, yeah, that's LeBron James. He plays basketball. But then when they get to Michael Jordan, they're like, oh, that's Michael Jordan.
Well, you know,
because you gotta be like Jay to know much about Michael Jordan.
No, I'm just telling you, that's what my kids said. Like my first grade class, that I took them on a walk of the hallway of all the like through history, African Americans, and quotes from them, like motivational quotes from them, are all on the walls all through our school. So we went on a walk and we talked about all the different people on the walls. And they got to LeBron James, and they were like, "Oh, LeBron James, he plays basketball, blah, blah, blah." But then they got to Michael Jordan, like, "Oh, that's Michael Jordan." Like, there was just a little bit difference,
right?
In the ones who had some idea, there was a little bit of difference. Like it was like, okay, yeah, we know LeBron James, but oh my God, that's Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Okay, that's Thursday. Get the hell out of here.
Hey, you don't talk to him out like that, all right?
Hey, Logan. Hey, wait, Logan. I want you to know when you do decide to tie the knot with your girl, that's what it's going to be like. I'm just giving you that's a heads up.
I do agree with Jay on that one.
Real quick. What I do want to say, and I know we got to get out of here, but what I do want to say about LeBron, because it's very important we say this, and I think it's very important we recognize, is that LeBron James is changing the narrative for African American youth. Right. More so, I think, than Michael Jordan did. Michael Jordan was just a hell of an athlete. Let's be honest. He's just the best athlete that ever played the game of basketball. Nobody can beat him at basketball. But when you look at the bigger scope of things, basketball, and you combine it with changing the narrative of people, or at least of even a certain race of people, it's just more. There's more to it. There's more substance to it. Because let's be honest. If you know, with what he's given back in inner city, what he's given back in the I Promise school, what he's given back with all of his charities, and but let's be honest, let's go beyond even all the money aspect of it. What he sets as an example, right? He doesn't get drunk. He doesn't get involved with the law. He doesn't cheat on his wife. He's not doing drugs. He's promoting education. It's just the example that he sets on and off the court is it's commendable. It's probably one of the best attributes I've ever seen, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I like what he does off the court more than what he does on. Also, opening up schools and giving up opportunities to those who can't pay for college tuitions and stuff like that. He's changing the world for future for future young bucks like
huge,
us.
Frankie.
Right.
Frankie, that's huge.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right. What do we got next, Logan?
Let me get my thoughts on the Bronny thing. I would love to see LeBron in like a Washington Wizards uniform, right? Much like MJ back when he came back in 2003. No one talks about that. Right? But yeah, no.
How interesting would that be?
That would just be weird to me, right? But we'll see what happens.
Ew.
But yeah,
all I can say is ew.
All right, but let's move on to our final topic. Can the Milwaukee Bucks, who are currently in 4th place in the East, repeat as champs this year? Jay, yes or no?
Yeah, absolutely, unequivocally, yes.
That was a long pause.
I was about to think about
that. It's absolutely unequivocally yes. I was just gathering up my breath to even say that. Here's the deal, folks. If you don't understand this, Brooklyn is in a complete disarray. They're done. Honestly, in my opinion, Brooklyn, I don't care if they do have 3 superstars. They're the most dysfunctional superstars I've ever seen.
They've only played in 16 games together throughout the entire
Brooklyn just looks good on paper, but it just doesn't have what it takes to be a champion right now. It just doesn't have it. And we don't even know what Hard could be gone tomorrow. We don't know. So I don't look at Brooklyn. I don't take Miami too seriously. And I don't take Chicago too seriously because I don't think they have an answer for Giannis. I just don't think they have the answer. So I see Milwaukee coming out of the East with no issues. And I see Phoenix coming out with no issues. I think Memphis is going to give a run for their money, but I do think Phoenix has a well-balanced enough team that they're going to come out of the West. And we're going to see a repeat of last year. It's going to be Phoenix and Milwaukee 2.0. And can Phoenix, overcome Giannis? And I tell you right now, if they pull off a trade, depending on what they give up, but if they pull off a trade for Sabonis, then I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to get very, very interesting for me because a Sabonis-led and a JaVale McGee, unless they get rid of McGee. But right now it would be Sabonis, McGee, and then, of course, you got DeAndre Ayton. I mean, that's a hell of a team. And you got Chris Paul as your facilitator. That's a very dangerous team. So it kind of depends on where Phoenix goes with the trade issue. But as it stands, where Phoenix currently is constructed and where Milwaukee is currently constructed, I see it's going to be 2.0, and Phoenix has a very tall order to overcome.
Frankie, what do you think? Can they repeat as champs?
If people say no, they're dumb. They're not watching the sport of basketball. Milwaukee Bucks have a strong chance at repeating, a really strong chance. The only thing that's stopping them, to me, honestly, can be the Chicago Bulls. Now, if the Chicago Bulls can somehow, some way turn their season back to where they were, a month ago, then Milwaukee is going to have trouble getting back to the finals. But like Jay said, we're in lockdown right now to see a championship rematch between Phoenix and Milwaukee. And if that happens, the real question is, can Phoenix overcome last year's deficit and become champions this year? Like Jay said, Milwaukee, no doubt about it, can repeat and make it back to the finals. And the one reason only is Giannis. If Giannis can get stopped, Milwaukee will be stopped. If Giannis is going to beast, Milwaukee Bucks will repeat. That's my saying.
And they have the recipe. Milwaukee knows what the recipe to success is, especially with Middleton and Drew Holiday. They know what that recipe, that three-headed monster knows what the recipe is.
Yes. But what's different from last year's win compared to this year is one player, and that player's not there, and he's over in Miami, and you know who I'm talking about.
PJ Tucker. They lost that junkyard dog.
Yeah.
PJ Tucker is a Jay Crowder, right?
If those of you who don't know, PJ Tucker was the reason Milwaukee honestly beat Brooklyn last year, because PJ Tucker was the one man who stopped Kevin Durant so much.
He's just great on defense. His defensive presence is stupid.
It was insane. Logan,
yeah.
Do you think the Milwaukee Bucks will repeat?
I think they have a very good chance. I think with a very good roster. Let's not forget they're also top 10 in the league in terms of defense. And with Coach Budenholzer, veteran head coach, got him a chip last year with Giannis, who nobody can stop. I mean, they're looking good, right? The East, they have some I wouldn't say major threats, but they have some teams who could, maybe go up against them. Like Cleveland, we didn't see them anywhere near being close to the playoffs last year. They've been great. They're a really good defensive team also. They got a lot of young guys, a lot of guys who are hungry. Like you mentioned, Jay, you mentioned Brooklyn haven't looked so hot this year, but let's not forget they were close to knocking out Milwaukee last year in the playoffs. If only for Kevin Durant playing for 50-something minutes, they might have hit that game-winning shot. So I think they still have a very good chance. I think Phoenix in the West has a good chance. Like you said, I like that Memphis is taking a big step. There's a lot of good teams out there. The Sixers, right? They're always primed to maybe get a good run in the East. You never know. But I think that the Bucks have a very good chance with a lot of guys they had last year coming back, minus, of course, a couple of guys. Only thing that you said that can stop them, maybe injuries, right? You don't want anyone to get injured. And I think other than that, they look pretty primed to get back in the playoffs. At least I know they're not the number one seed or anything crazy. But it doesn't matter what seed you are. As long as you get far in the playoffs, that's all that matters. So I think the Bucks can definitely make a deep playoff run. So, like Frankie alluded to in the beginning, tell the fans who are watching us right now, Frankie, who do we have coming on next week as a special guest?
Oh, we're going to welcome back none other than our man from Philly, the Philly sports guy, who, by the way, went up against every single one of us. Maybe he tied with Logan on one team, but he definitely went up against me and Jay on our Super Bowl predictions. He picked, yeah, we won, baby. We won. Me and Jay got our Super Bowl predictions right. We said it was going to be the LA Rams versus the Cincinnati Bengals compared to what Jamie Pags, Philly sports guy, said. He said it was going to be the Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers. And if that was going to go down, he was going to come on our show and own us. But he's coming on Tuesday, and best to believe he's going to be the one getting owned.
You think there's a validity to this show and we know what we're talking about?
Hey, Frank, Jay, make sure he's wearing face paint this upcoming week. We gotta give him.
I'm gonna text him. I'm texting him tomorrow to get ahead of the curve. I'll be texting him tomorrow and tell him we need war paint
because February 8th is our debut on Tiki Channel. We're gonna be live on television. Gotta look good, everyone. Do your face care, your skincare routine. Look good. Jay, trim your beard. Frankie, we need to see your face. We gotta look good for Tuesday at 7:00. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Like I said, we go live Tuesday, Thursday, 7:00. Saturdays at 8. We go live on Facebook at Unscripted, also live on the ASAP channel, All Sports, All Plays. Amazing content on Facebook and YouTube. Go check them out. What up?
Before we go, I just want to say that soon I'm going to have Robert Durant Jr. back on our show.
Oh.
He's having a homecoming match April 9th in Schenectady, New York at Rivers Casino, his homecoming match. He will be here soon. I don't have a date yet. I'm in contact with him. But he's going to come on our show for our homecoming fight show here at Unscripted.
Hell yeah.
And when the fight comes April 9th, it's hopefully going to be a Saturday, so we're probably going to be live.
Oh, yeah.
Your boy, Frankie C, will be at Rivers Casino live for Robert Durant Jr.'s fight. Yeah, we will get some live footage from Rivers Casino inside.
There you go. Breaking news here. To end our show on Saturday. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Like I said, we will be back on Tuesday with the Philly Sports Guy, our first show on Tiki. For my guys, Jay McLovin and Frankie C, I've been your producer, Logan Landers. Guys, have a great night, and we will talk to you on Tuesday.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces.